What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 6, I think it is, of Assassin's Creed Odyssey Let's Talk, where I'm taking you through some bits and pieces in the ancient Greek world as I'm playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In this episode, I explore the big man, Zeus, just looking at and talking about his upbringing, his fight against his father, and why it is that he is the king of the gods. So as always, leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you didn't, and maybe even subscribe. Hope you enjoy it.
Okay. Welcome back to yet another Assassin's Creed Odyssey video. So, if you remember from last time, you know what, first thing I want to do is change that shroud because it's nice but it doesn't go with the outfit, you know? Also, right, so last time we finished off with Elpenor, or rather we found Penelope's shroud for Elpenor, and he's asked us to go to Megaris and kill the wolf of Sparta. Oh, go on.
You're a good hunter,
Ricardo. But before I head to Barnabas in Sami and we set sail and really get started with the Odyssey and this whole game, I just want to finish off all the small quests that I left here in Kephallonia, because I don't really need to come back or want to come back, you know? Like, I wouldn't like to give Cassandra that finale, leave this island and never return. Oh, he ran right into it. That's not my fault. Oh, right, no wonder. Zeus Aeneas. I've said that wrong. Maybe Zeus Aeneas? Zeus Aeneas, that's how you pronounce it. According to Greek myth, this temple was visited by two of Jason's Argonauts. So, you know, Jason and the Golden Fleece, he travelled with a group of warriors, and they called themselves the Argonauts because the ship that they travelled on was called the Argo. And according to myth, two of them Argonauts came to the Tenemus of Zeus Aeneas to ask for help in defeating winged monsters known as the Harpies. Which actually very handily, usefully brings me on to what I wanted to talk about in today's episode. Today's episode. Because I was thinking, yes, I can go straight on and get on with the game and talk about Megaris and its involvement in the Peloponnesian Wars. But before I do that, I want to just tidy up, you know, all of these like side missions and what have you. Let's go here first, do Hungry Gods. And I was like, what am I going to talk about really? How do I fill up some time before we can really get into the fun of this game? And then I remembered there's a massive statue of Zeus on this island. Right up there. Look at that. Let me just talk about Zeus for a bit. I figured, you know, yeah, I just talk about the big guy himself as I mop up the final few quests left here in Kephallonia. You know, this horse is just so dumb.
Off we go now.
Just
I should try to stay out of sight.
Drogat, you know, okay, now that I'm here, let's do this cave. Oh, is there a back way in? Because I know... Surely not. Come on, Ikaros. What do you think? Yeah, I know that I can get in through the front and do that. But it would be fun to go in from the back. But I'm not going to waste time trying to find it, actually. Maybe on the way out. But coming back to Zeus. Stories of Zeus are widespread, really. Like, his reputation has always preceded him. And I guess if you don't know who Zeus is, we should start off pretty basic, and I just explained that. Zeus is the king of gods. He is the god of the sky, the lightning bearer, and he is also the god of travelers. He protects travelers.
You don't look so good.
I angered them, I think. The gods.
It's possible. I hear they can be vengeful.
I used to worship Hermes at the Droorati cave. There are gods there too, you know.
In the cave?
They grant wishes if you bring them tribute. So everyone makes an offering and asks for something in return. Ah, no wishes of mine granted though. I'm running out of money and tribute. I'm poor myself, you know. I did something wrong.
You know Hermes. He can be a trickster.
Oh, but there are many gods in this cave, all asking for different things. Go hear them yourself. You'll get my last tribute if you do. I need to know if they're real.
All right, don't worry. I'll go.
Oh, thank you. Remember, be careful where you step, Mystios. You'll be walking on holy ground.
We'll see about that.
There are loads of different gods, huh? That's suspicious. That's weird. Because religion in the ancient Greek world isn't, or rather wasn't really the way that we understand modern religion to be now. And this, I think, is going to become more prevalent when we finally meet Socrates, and I talk a bit more about who he was and why he was killed. But he was killed for his beliefs, or rather his non-beliefs, should I specify. Aha, time to do some investigating.
Someone dropped offerings here. Looks like they were trying to carry them away behind the statue.
What are you saying? Oh, nothing.
Oh, there's a draft here. A crack in the wall?
So, Zeus was the king of the gods, the god of the sky, basically the top dog.
This area will be well defended.
But gods in religion, they were understood a bit differently to how they are now. And essentially, they were made up, you know, really. The massive Greek pantheon, eventually there came a time where there was a god for almost everything. And I think the best way to explain the reason for that is because families wanted to trace their like bloodline back to somewhere like really regal, really noble, because it would be very helpful for things like marriages and alliances. And so yeah, families would fake their genealogy to relate themselves back to some sort of, if not god, then an epic hero. So if you remember, for example, Odysseus can apparently trace himself back to Hermes. Do we really think that? Probably completely made up. But it would have made for great like family lines and bloodlines and alliances and the like. So that's why it happened. Oh, people will see us. Okay. Not the best. Let's go for it.
I will kill you.
You ain't killing shit. Oh, and no one's heard. Love it. We love being sneaky. Let's call him over. Take him out like that. Once I get out of this cave, I can get back to you explaining a bit more about Zeus. Come on. Ooh, that's not on me. Oh, I didn't spot that one. Oh yeah, there is no shield. Light work. An ability point as well.
People should have known something was off. And here's all their loot.
Yes, Cassandra, but the people in Kephallonia are dumb. Nice, nice. Anything good in here? I forget. Ah, okay. Just the offerings. And is there a way out of this cave? Around the back? Before I return the offerings. There is. Haha. Oh. Okay. Let's go and finish the quest first. Actually, you know what? Let's explore. So, the big man. Top dog. Zeus himself. Oh, I was literally right there. I could have just gone down if Icarus had not done me dirty. To understand Zeus, I think it's good that we trace him all the way back to his father and his grandfather, because that's really what sets up something called a succession myth, which is going to be important in explaining exactly why Zeus became the king of the gods and not anyone else. So we have the beginning of time, or rather at the beginning of time there was a big swirling mist. Oh, what's this?
All I can offer you is devotion, but I need your help. I'm poor. I have 4 hungry children and nothing else. I weave baskets for the market, but my cart is ruined. How can I repair it? Or sell my wares without it? Without you?
Oh, get to play as God.
I'm listening, child of Hermes.
Oh, mighty God, I beg you, help me.
This is how the bandits took all that money.
Prayer is
Because we got some stupid civilians here.
you will find riches at your door sooner than you expect.
I knew you'd listen. My every sunrise and sunset is yours. Everything beneath my humble roof in Sami is devoted to you.
Yes, now go home and wait for fate to intervene.
I will, great God, I will.
Well, if money is what she needs, the bandit stolen loot will do just fine.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't mind doing that. Actually, the way that the gods would communicate with people, or rather the Greeks believed it would be through like dreams, or they would go and speak to the oracle because they thought the oracle, or they would ask like seers to look into signs like bird flights or goat entrails, and seers would be able to read from that. That's how gods communicated with them, not by talking through a statue.
No gods in the caves. Only bandits stealing people's hopes and drachmi.
I knew it! Thieves!
At least you know you won't face Zeus's wrath. Maybe he'll take pity on you.
I hope Zeus bring his wrath on those bandits.
Don't worry. I brought mine. That should be good enough.
Smashed it. Great stuff. Right. Oh, level 6. Look at that. That's nice. Speaking of time, there's a swirling mist. We call it chaos. From chaos, I'm skipping a lot of this, but basically from chaos comes Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. Now they have children, and they call themselves the Titans. There are, I think, 12 of them, 12 Titans, and one day Uranus gets a prophecy telling him that one of his kids will kill him and take over the throne. Uranus obviously doesn't want that. He's not particularly happy for that to happen. So what he does is he traps his kids in Mother Earth, in Gaia, and stops them from coming out. This causes immense pain for Gaia.
Just like she said. God, looks pretty worse for wear.
I mean, her kids are being basically forced back into her womb, which, by the
Looks
way,
like these new baskets were off
is
the market
Tartarus.
until the cart broke.
Like, where basically hell.
This should help.
Not
Defend
quite,
on the bandits.
but essentially hell. Just a little fun fact, you know, Mother Earth's womb is considered the darkest place, darkest, most dangerous place. I'm not going to steal stuff from people, come on. So Uranus had stuffed his kids back into Mother Earth's or Gaia's womb, and this is causing so much pain for her that what she does is she conspires with her youngest son, Kronos, to kill Uranus. So Gaia creates something called a sickle and gives it to Kronos to use to kill Uranus. I was gonna do I did Hungry Gods, Blood Fever. Let's do Shark the Vagrant. So Kronos, the youngest of the Titans, and the personification of the sort of time which is like growing old, so the time that we associate with like old age and dying because of old age and time passing, like that kind of time is what Kronos is all about. Anyway, he grabs his sickle, and lo and behold, he cuts Uranos open. Uranos is weakened, and Kronos is able to imprison his father in Tartarus, which is like, it's often mistaken for hell. It isn't hell. Hell is Hades. Tartarus is like the darkest pit of Hades. It's like a really, really terrible place where you just wouldn't want to go. I mean, not anybody would want to go to hell per se. What are you doing? But Tartarus is like the worst bit.